evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, September 18, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Baby dies weeks after falling and hitting his head. Babysitter detained. International financial architecture out of sync with developing countries' SDG needs. President Ali tells UN Forum. Guyana's LCDS strikes balance for sustainable wealth creation, says President Ali. Guyana to host Prison EXPO to showcase creativity of inmates. And a pharmacist found dead in MOCHA home. Now for the news in detail. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that police have detained a 28-year-old woman as part of an ongoing investigation into the death of 1-year-old Rahim Fung, whom she was babysitting. The baby's parents are Rhonda Courtwright and Kevin Fung of Circuitville, Suicide Linden Highway. The baby was on a life support machine at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, suffering from multiple head injuries, but he died moments ago. The 28-year-old woman in police custody is the niece of the baby's father, who resides at Yarrowcabra, Suicide Linden Highway. Police explained that during July, the parents agreed to leave their baby in the care and custody of the 28-year-old. The agreement was that she cared for the child from Mondays to Saturdays due to their busy work schedule. During the month of August, the niece had contacted the baby's mother and informed her that the child had fallen and hit his head. He was taken to the GPHC with a swollen forehead and he was treated and sent away. The child continued being in the care of the 28-year-old. But on September 15, 2023, at about 19 hours 30, the woman again contacted the mother, this time informing her that the baby had a seizure and lost consciousness. He was rushed to the Diamond Diagnostic Center by his mother, where he was examined by a doctor on duty and transferred to GPHC, where he was admitted as a patient in the ICU on a life support machine suffering from multiple head injuries. He succumbed to his injuries this afternoon. Police said the babysitter has been cooperating with investigators. Gerald Bryan joins us now to report that the low-carbon development strategy was the topic of discussion on Monday, with a former Colombian president even praising the initiative during the Concordia Annual Summit plenary session themed Underneath the Green Transition, the Oil Industry. Here are the details.
President Dr. Irfan Ali, who is in New York for the United Nations General Assembly, also held discussions on the sidelines which centered on Guyana's oil-producing future. Guyana's low-carbon development strategy came up for discussions during the Concordia Annual Summit plenary session. According to President Ali, there are innate disparities between the developed and developing world which must be bridged. He noted that the developing world has had to find creative ways of helping to bridge this divide, with Guyana's LCDS being one example.
Take, for example, in the era of modernization and mechanization, the developing world was left behind, because they did not have the capital to mechanize. The developed world went ahead and mechanized. They became more competitive. Now we have digitization, again, widening the gap between the developing world and the developed world. Who is going to finance that gap? When are the developing countries going to get the full opportunity to exploit their resources to ensure that they can survive in this highly competitive environment? That is why the balance is required. And that is why the LCDS is a holistic approach to finding that balance in terms of managing the environment, ensuring the livelihood of the people, promoting economic wealth, creating equality, bridging inequality, and ensuring that the aspirations of Guyana and the people of the world are met in a balanced approach.
Guyana's ability to market its low-carbon development strategy also came in for praise from former Colombian President Ivan Duque, who shared the stage with President Ali.
We need to finance the transition, not only the energy transition, the economic transition, the environmental transition, in a sustainable way. As President Ali was mentioning, I'm really impressed by his efforts to keep on promoting the low-carbon development strategy, being a zero deforestation country, having 40% of the land in the hands of indigenous communities with land titles, and trying to change the energy matrix so that they don't depend on oil to generate electricity. Guyana is also a food security provider for the Caribbean and the region. Guyana is an energy security provider, and they need these resources to allow better education, better health, better infrastructure. So I think having that balance is possible.
Guyana's LCDS 2030 was launched in 2022 and is the updated version of the LCDS first launched in 2009. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
For developing countries to achieve critical sustainable development goals by the 2030 timeline, President Dr. Irfaan Ali has voiced the need for greater finances as he drew attention to the failure of the international community to deliver on these commitments. Rupa Sinarayan reports.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali on Monday addressed the high-level political forum on sustainable development under the auspices of the United Nations General Assembly. According to the recent IDB report, the gap in financing to achieve 4 critical SDGs for Latin America and the Caribbean, including access to water and sanitation, energy, building infrastructure to promote sustainable industrialization and innovation, and making cities sustainable, require $2.2 billion. While Guyana's expanded economy has allowed it to flourish and inject resources into key sectors such as health and education, it is not enough to achieve the SDGs.
This is a situation of just one region in the world. Mr. President, Guyana's expansion of our economy has allowed us to focus heavily on the SDGs. For example, investment per capita in health has increased by 62%. In education by 64%, and security by 153% over a 3-year period. But national commitment alone will not be enough to achieve the SDGs, especially for the poorest and most vulnerable.
A major part of the problem, according to the Guyanese leader, has been the lack of progress on Goal 17, which speaks to revitalizing the global partnership for sustainable development. He indicated that there has been failure on the part of the international community to deliver on its commitments.
International financial commitments, be it the 0.7% of gross national product for ODA, a commitment made 50 years ago, or the $100 billion annual commitment under the Paris Agreement to developing countries, among others, have not been met. Additionally, our international financial architecture is out of sync with the needs of developing countries and must be reformed.
Ali drew light to statistics which show that developing countries are faced with a higher food inflation, some 5% greater than the rest of the world. To compound this, the average interest on external borrowing is 3 times higher than that of developed nations.
We will not have a world where everyone everywhere enjoys their full human rights, peace and security, and is free from poverty and hunger until the right to development is realized and respected. Guyana believes that significant progress can only be made in achieving the SDG if national efforts are matched by commitments being fulfilled, and if an international environment is created that fosters progress for all countries.
The Guyanese leader emphasized that critical to this is action on the Bridgetown Initiative, liquidity support, debt sustainability, development funding, and governance reforms of international financial institutions. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Officially launched last week, the Ministry of Education's School Grants Initiative continued today in Region 5, where 72 schools benefited. Andrew Carmichael brings us this report.
Some $47 million has been distributed to public schools across Region 5, MOCHA. The monies are going directly into the hands of teachers who are tasked with using the monies to improve their students' learning experiences. In the region, some 9,200 students stand to benefit. The monies can be used for various purposes, such as purchasing items needed to keep the environment clean, office supplies such as chart, chalkboard, chalk, or whatever need the teacher believes need to be fulfilled. Each teacher will be getting $4,000 per child per classroom on the coastland. The sum will be $5,500 per child in hinterland areas. The initiative was officially launched last week in Region 3, Essequibo Islands, the West Demerara. On Monday, it was rolled out in Region 5, with Education Minister Priya Manik Chand being a part of the exercise.
The region got $50 million for all of you for 1 year. I am bringing here today $47 million for 1 term. Liberty Hall, nursery, 512,000 for this term alone. Ithaca Primary, 344, and I'm just calling some names because you'll see what you get. Rosignol Secondary, 2.7 million. Bigevo, 2.8. Myconi, 2.4. Belladrum, 1.2, based on the number of children.
Minister Manik Chan, who met with head teachers in the region, said by giving them the money directly, it will give more independence to classroom teachers, allowing them to choose what they want to use. She explained that the proposal was put forward some time ago, but it was in August she got Parliament to approve the funds.
If you have a class or a school with less than 56 children, you'll get the value of 56 children, 234,000. Because although it's a small number of children, you still have PD, you still have AIDS, you still have all those things to do. And that is per term. And what we're doing is we have divided or apportioned it this way. The budget lines come on the janitorial, field, and office. You know that better than me. So for janitorial, we're giving a certain amount, for field a certain amount, for office an amount.
To ensure a transparent process, Minister Manik Chan told head teachers that a list would be provided to guide teachers on their purchases while encouraging them to utilize the grants in innovative ways. Grants were also distributed to schools in Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
An exhibition aimed at showcasing talents of inmates from the various prisons across the country has been organized for September 29 to October 1 at the National Cultural Center, Tarmac, Hatfield Street, Georgetown. According to a statement from the Guyana Prison Service, the three-day event forms part of the Guyana Prison Service's 40th Thanksgiving anniversary. Director of Prisons, Nicolon Elliott, said the exhibition will not only showcase the positive developments within the prison system, but it will also showcase the depth of innovation and creativity by the inmates. Booths will showcase various items ranging from tailoring, arts and crafts, leathercraft, agriculture, cosmetology, culinary arts, training, events decor, and carpentry. Prior to the exhibition, Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben will deliver the feature address at the service's Thanksgiving anniversary and church service. There will also be a concert where inmates will further showcase their talents in the form of dancing, singing, poetry, and stand-up comedy. The public is encouraged to support this event, which is free of cost. Coming up, President Ali proposes ecotourism park for Batavia, and police still probing 50 million robbery at Region 6 RDC. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles.
The biggest party in sport is back. CPL returns with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me?
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Celebrate some more!
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Superbet, your best bet. Do you wish to pass some time and win while doing so? Play our Superbet online games. Choose from over 200 online games that are easy to play. Visit www.superbet.gy to choose your game. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Junan Diabru, a 36-year-old pharmacist of Lot 49 Nelson Street, MOCHA, East Bank, Demerara. The incident occurred on Sunday at about 15 hours 20 whilst Diabru and her 15-year-old son were at home. Police said the son was in his bedroom completing his schoolwork, and at some point he ventured outside to inform his mother that there was no ink in the printer. It was then he discovered his mother dead. She is suspected to have committed suicide. The teen raised an alarm and persons in the area rushed to offer assistance. The police were also contacted. A post-mortem examination will be conducted. Investigations are ongoing. A 9-year-old boy of Belfield, East Coast, Demerara, tragically lost his life on Sunday morning after he was struck down by a car driven by a teenager. Dead is Daniel D'Souza. Reports are that he was struck down while on his way to church at 12th Street Dazzle Housing Scheme, East Coast, Demerara. Reports are that the driver of the car was a 16-year-old who had stolen the keys to his father's car and left home just moments before the incident. D'Souza was walking to church when he stopped to tie his shoelace and was struck by the car, which dragged him a short distance before plunging into a nearby trench. The child was quickly picked up and rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The teenage driver was subsequently arrested and is currently in police custody, assisting with the investigation. We now tell you that almost 1 week after a daring robbery at the office of the Regional Democratic Council in Region 6, which saw bandits escaping with some 50 million in cash, police are still continuing their probe. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael brings us this update on the investigations.
It was during the wee hours of September 13 that 4 armed bandits allegedly broke into the office of the Regional Democratic Council of Region 6 at Vermans Urban in New Amsterdam, Berbice. During the course of the robbery, they had beaten up one of 4 unarmed security officers who were guarding the premises. The bandits escaped with some 50 million in cash. The money was intended to pay government part-time workers. To date, the monies have not yet been recovered despite police having killed one of the suspected bandits, identified as Kevin Vin Lewin, injured another and arrested another suspect to have been involved in the crime. Police had also revealed said a woman who has not been identified and another man who was previously identified as Tariq Pollard were taken into custody assisting with the investigations. It is unclear if these persons are still in custody. Police spokesperson Mark Ramater only revealed on Monday that the probe is continuing and the suspect, who is hospitalized, has recovered and that detectives are making arrangements to have him interviewed. That suspect is at the Georgetown Public Hospital. The robbery in question occurred at around 3:10 hours on Wednesday last and later that afternoon. Acting on information received, police cornered the suspect's bandit in Heatburn Village, East Bank, Berbice. This resulted in an exchange of gunfire between the cops and the criminals. Meanwhile, several persons working at the RDC have also been questioned in relation to the incident. Despite stolen monies, the Evening News understand that some part-time have already been paid, and there is a commitment to have others receive their salaries before the end of the week. I am Kamisi Slow, reporting for the Evening News.
The People's Progressive Party Civic has floated plans for the building out of an ecotourism park in the hinterland community of Batavia, Region 7, as part of Guyana's drive to enhance its tourism credentials. Here are the details from Jarl Bryan.
President Dr. Irfan Ali has floated the idea of an ecotourism park in Batavia while attending the opening Heritage Day celebrations in the Region 7 community on Sunday. According to the president, it is a project that his brainchild Men on Mission initiative could execute.
The minister would have covered all the important areas. But one of the important things about this area that Tushar would have spoken to me about was, after this week, what do we do with this area? And perhaps with the help of the Men on Mission, we can work on creating the first, what we will term, an eco-friendly ecotourism park. with the community. And that is a park that can demonstrate how you can enjoy leisure, how you can enjoy health tourism within a natural framework, within the heart of an eco facility. So that is something that we would love to work with you on.
President Ali also recalled a conversation he had with the president of the Tourism Hospitality Association of Guyana, TAG, D. George. According to him, there is a need to make better use of infrastructure, both temporary and permanent, for tourism purposes.
I was saying to the president of TAG, Dee, who is here, and I want you to give her a round of applause too, that perhaps we do have to make better use of the infrastructure that we build at events like these. So for example, the beautiful tents that you would have built here, we should see how we can, before you take them down, how we can move this around, maybe to Georgetown or the beaches of Georgetown, and have a beautiful event on the beaches of Georgetown, demonstrating the culture with infrastructure that is built from years and years of old technology that is still relevant and modern today.
Batavia was selected as a heritage village for this year's edition of Amerindian Heritage Month. As such, the village will be the center of the Heritage Day village celebrations. The month-long activities will conclude with Amerindian Heritage Sports on October the 1st. Joe O'Brien, The Evening News.
While in Batavia for the Heritage Day Festival, President Ali also acknowledged his government's responsibility to bridge infrastructure and service gaps between the capital city and hinterland locations, and made it clear that his administration takes this role seriously. Here is Gerald Bryan again with the details.
In his address to residents of Batavia, President Ali stressed that minimum standards must be established across the country. These standards, according to the president, must allow all Guyanese to benefit in an equitable manner. He noted that it must not be a case where the capital city is the only beneficiary of adequate services.
Our task in government is to work towards bridging the gaps. Wherever there are gaps, we have to bridge the gaps to ensure that there is a minimum set of standards, there is a minimum set of service that all our people enjoy in an equitable way. So it is not in every society, the capital city will have services that other areas will never have. But what we have to do in the country is to establish a minimum set of service and standards that every single community must enjoy. And that is what we're doing for water, for electricity, for education, for healthcare, for infrastructure. We are establishing that minimum set of service that every single community must have across the country, and that is what we are building. A strong, prosperous, productive future for every single Guyanese.
The president also made mention of the work that has been done through the United Kingdom Smart Hospitals Initiative. This initiative allowed Guyana to benefit from the £46.3 million strengthening health facilities in the Caribbean Smart Hospital project, leading to the upgrade of 5 facilities.
We're working with partners like the UK to ensure that we have smart hospitals, that we build out telemedicine, so that our people and our communities all across Guyana can have a level of service that we can all be proud of.
The 5 hospitals that were upgraded through this project were the Diamond, Leonora, Mabaruma, Letem, and Paramakatoy hospitals. They were all outfitted with infrastructure to accommodate smart hospital technology. Joe O'Brien, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge.
Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, September 19, 2023 at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Babysitterer Bridge is expected to be closed at 6 hours 25 on Tuesday, September 19, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Looking positive, Tahir, about Paul's recovery from injury, and fans take their pick for Blockbuster Qualifier 1. Details of these stories and more in this podcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Yeah, ready? We are short so far. Look along, me tell you, buy one generator. Now the picnic online test and blackout come and cut off everything. Sorry, son. Radhika, Abby go tomorrow. Abby go now.
At Sylvie's, we stock products from more than 22 different sectors in mining, construction, food processing, vulcanizing, home improvements, and more.
Are you getting generator?
So this is a 3000 better star generator. This will work for your lights, your fan, your TV, and your fridge.
Well, Abby can buy one for Abby and Abby can buy one for Mommy too.
Yeah, and Mommy can even key start it, because all you have to do is hook up the battery and
visit us today at 31 High and Hatfield Street, where our friendly and knowledgeable team members are willing to assist you. You can also call us on 227-6243 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 and shop via our website at www.sylviesonline.com.
Abby go buy one doll pulling mill,
one plucking machine, one pressure washing machine, one juice dispenser, one engine, one pepper grinding machine, one water pump, one sugar cane juicer, circle sir. We gotta get alright then that food warmer. We gotta get. What are you looking at?
Looking to bring your dream home to reality, or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.